Greetings, everyone. I am joined here by Peyton and Yaila and myself, Corey. And this is our energy update for May 2023. Peyton will be doing channeling the Pleiades. Yaila gives us an energy reading for the month of May. And I myself, Corey, will be doing the astrology. We do these every month. We keep doing them because they're popular. So let's start with you, Yaila. What do you have for the energy reading for May 2023?
Thank you, Corey. So welcome to May 2023. As you all know, if you've tuned into our videos before, I just tap into the energy for the collective and do a collective reading, this general themes to everyone. So let me just tap into that energy really fast. Okay, and I always just like to ask for a blessing. So anybody tuning into this video receives the information and healing for their highest and best good. Just asking Creator to guide me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so I am getting a really strong, two really strong colors for the collective. First, a really beautiful emerald green, and there's a bright yellow and kind of a mustardy yellow. So let me just kind of tap in and see what those colors are representing for May 2023. So I'm hearing May is going to be a lot about relationships. Actually, the words they were giving me is all about relationships. So very strong in the relationship department for you. And I'm hearing it's beginning right now. So let me just kind of ask why they're highlighting relationships. And from now moving into May, when we are recording this on the last week of April. So the last full week of April, I should say. Okay, so when I'm asking why are relationships being highlighted for the collective for May, I'm hearing the words, what do you love? What do you love about yourself? What do you love about the relationships that you're in? What do you love about the people in your life? What do you love? And the guides are bringing in, this month is going to be a highlight and a focus for you to really look and connect to what energy you're vibrating at, what energy you're embodying, and the outside world is going to reflect back to you what your internal beliefs are. So conflicts that we're seeing in relationships are highlighting kind of some deeper aspects about ourselves that needs some attention brought to. So just know for the month of May, some things to look out for are, what are your internal stories about yourself or the relationships that you have in May? And is it really in alignment to what you're trying to create? And as you recognize what is in alignment, what's not, kind of what are those deeper beliefs, the guides are having you highlight, what do you love? Because that's what you get to strengthen. Our energy is really really cool if you think about just how much power we have in our energy, because where we're focusing it, where we're directing our energy is actually what grows and expands. So if we're focusing on the complaints, the gripes, the worry, the doubt, that's going to grow and expand. If we're focusing on what we love, what's fun, what feels good, why we're happy, that's going to grow and expand as well. So you're going to be shown just kind of where that inner dialogue is at for yourself and for other people, the relationships that you have, romantic, family, work, acquaintances, all the above. And so you're really going to be, it's all about relationships, the month of May, and what you love. So you can strengthen that. So you have kind of your choice on that. So that's the first energy. When I'm asking the yellows, there's kind of a, whenever I see a muted color like a mustardy yellow or like a darker, more dingy color versus like a really bright canary yellow, I'm actually seeing both for the collective. And so it's partnering with that internal dialogue for yourself. The yellow is really about what we're doing. You know, are we doing things that are in alignment to our integrity, our truth? Are we operating from that place, or are we doing things out of obligation, out of others' expectations, out of old past energy that's no longer in alignment to where we want to be going? So we're going to be shown on a deeper, more magnifying level of the interpersonal relationships that we have, as well as how we're actually showing up in our everyday life. So a lot about our relationships and a lot about how we show up. So let me just kind of ask what else we can look out for the month of May 2023. So something that the guides are highlighting is watching out, trying to force things to go too quickly. There's kind of an overlying energy of impatience where we're kind of seeing how we want things to be different. We're wanting things to change, but there has to be things that kind of line up. There's almost like a sequence of events to fully embody the total outcome that you're working towards. And so there can be a tendency in the past to try and push and force things on the timeline that you think is appropriate. But what the guides are wanting you to watch out for is not to be in a rush, because there's going to be more information, more shifts and change and adjustments that you're making internally, as well as others are making internally and externally, that the pieces are going to fall together much easier and much more in alignment if you don't try and force it on a timeline that you think it should be on. The timeline it's happening on will unfold as it's supposed to, and you don't need to push. You can allow it to be at its own pace. So that's something to watch out for. It's just watch out for your patience. Just know things might take longer than you want them to, and it's for your highest purpose in that. Let me just see if there's any last messages for the collective for May 2023. The last message that they want to give, and I absolutely love this one, is you are doing a good job. We can get really hard on ourselves, especially when energies are strong and there's a lot of shifts and changes, and we can kind of feel like we're not doing enough. There's, we don't know enough, we don't do enough, it's not enough, so-and-so is not doing enough. And what the guides want you to know for the collective is you're doing a good job. What we're navigating through right now is kind of unprecedented energies. It's a whole new level of consciousness that we are tapping into, and just give yourself a little bit of a break, give yourself some ease and some grace, and trust that you are doing a good job, especially when you are being truthful with yourself, with what you love, your heart, what you truly want as the outcome to be. When you focus on that and just allow things to fall into place, the month of May is actually going to be a really beautiful month of flourishing and nourishment. You'll have a lot easier of a time than if you are pushing and thinking about all the things that aren't where you want them to be just yet and giving yourself a hard time. That's going to make May feel like a slow grind versus an ease and a flow. So let me see if there's any last little things they want to bring before I transfer it over. The last little thing is your embodiment, your essence is the magic. And I actually love that. Your embodiment and your essence is the magic. It starts from within and it pours through you, your energy without, and that's what the world is going to reflect back to you. So that's what the guides have to say for May 2023. Miss Peyton, what do the Pleiadians have to say?
Hey y'all, I'm Peyton and I channel the Pleiadians. So when I checked in with them to see what was in store for us in May, they had two major themes. And the first thing they wanted to talk to us about was the eclipse that we went through last week, because so many of us really got whumped by that energy. So the guides wanted to talk to us a little bit about energetically what happened, because they said that they know that a lot of us are feeling a little energetically bruised from last week as a whole. And so they wanted us to know what it meant from an energetic perspective. So according to the P's, they said that last week was a major activation. So we passed through a major gateway, which is why it felt so bumpy, so rough. They said that we purged a huge amount of density. And actually what they said is a huge amount of density was ripped from you. And I don't know about y'all, but it felt that way to me. It was not soft and gentle. So what they said is we went through a major upgrade, and there are a couple good things that are coming out of what was kind of a bumpy week for a lot of people. The first is that they said that many of us are going to notice that our clairaudience is coming online. Now, if you don't know what this just means the ability to hear spirit, to translate energy through hearing. And it's not one of the clairs that many of us are most familiar with, because hearing energy is one of the things that's a little less common. But they said a lot of people were activated in their clairaudience through this eclipse. So what we may notice, they said, is sensations in our ears. It might be a ringing. A lot of people are hearing ringing in their ears, tones in their ears, buzzing or pressure in the ear. And they said these are some of the indicators that can mean that you were one of the ones who received an upgrade to your ability to hear energy, to translate energy through hearing. So that is always really exciting when our abilities get a little tune-up. Now, something else they said that is happening as a result of this powerful eclipse that happened last week is that we are going to see very clearly what our mission is. And especially if you're a starseed, you came in with a very specific soul mission, a way that you intended to contribute to the ascension process. But a lot of people are a little fuzzy on what that actually is. They said that in May, that's going to start to get crystal clear. So we're going to start to have a lot of clarity over what we are here to do and what the path forward is, because it's been a little fuzzy for a lot of people. And they said that is going to be shifting. Now, I always ask the Pleiadians, just what can we expect as an energetic theme? You know, what can we look for? What's going to be going on in the collective? And so they said our theme for the month of May is forgiveness. They said, as a whole, we are moving through a very dense layer of shame. We are realizing how much we have shamed ourselves in what we look like, what our physical body is like, how we choose to live our life. And we pass a lot of that on to other people as well. So as a collective, we are going to be starting to purge this, which means it's going to come to the surface for us to see it. So what their message is for us in May is to practice forgiveness. Forgive yourself for all the times you have judged yourself, beat up on yourself, told yourself you weren't doing enough, moving fast enough. Give yourself a break, and then give everyone else a break too, because this is one of the things our galactic family is looking to see, that we can start to get along as a human collective. So this is going to be coming to the surface in May. So forgiveness is going to be huge. Forgiving yourself and forgiving everyone else. And then finally, the last thing that they wanted to chat about, which they're getting very excited about, is to talk to us a little about open contact. Now, some of you have probably heard that as we crossed into 2023, we entered the window for open contact. And what that means, if this is all new to you, is that the guides have now been given permission, our star family, to start contacting humans more openly. So we are in the window now. So the guides are starting to talk more about it. So what they wanted us to understand is that this is something that is starting to unfold, that they are starting to work very closely, but very gently with us, because they never want to scare new civilizations that are right on the threshold of open contact. But they wanted us to know that they've been given permission to start working more closely with us. And what they wanted us to know is that they're going to start by reaching out to those humans who are most open to this, most interested in this. So if you are one of those people who wants to start interacting more closely with your galactic family, or have more contact experiences, and we're starting to see it everywhere in the world around us, they said they're looking for human ambassadors. humans who want to be the bridge between our galactic family and our whole human collective. So they said they are very interested in working with any humans that want to work with them, that want to be this bridge between worlds. And they said, if you are interested in that, what they are encouraging us to do is, first off, process any fear energy. And of course, that is advice that is always well-founded, but certainly if you are interested in any form of contact. The second thing they recommend is setting a very clear intention to start interacting more openly with your galactic family. They said your intention is very powerful because they are listening. And they also said they encourage us to start speaking this out loud. So not just sitting there in your meditation, inviting them in, but to actually start to speak the words out loud. Because they said, we are listening to you. We are waiting for your invitation. And the more they hear humans speaking about wanting contact, wanting more involvement with their galactic family, the more they see the invitation to interact. So this is something that is going to be a very exciting unfolding as we see how this actually comes into reality. They said they can't tell us all the details yet, and the details are always changing, but they wanted us to know that it has begun. And we are the cornerstone of that as the awakened community. We are the ones who are going to be showing humanity the way to help them understand there is nothing to fear and that the galactics are part of our family. So that is what the Pleiadians wanted to share with us this month. And I don't know, it sounds pretty exciting to me. So I'm kind of looking forward to May. So Corey, how about you? What does the astrology look like for us in May?
Thank you, Peyton. Thank you, Yaila. Well, this is the astrology for May 2023. It's massive. It's really big. The astrology for May is huge. We have a lot going on, so I will report as much as I can, but I will be putting up more videos regarding more details about the astrology. So, May 1st, we've got Pluto going retrograde. That's Pluto in Aquarius going retrograde. And for the rest of 2023, we will see a lot of retrograde planets. So all of the planets going direct is over for 2023. And that's okay. But May 1st with Pluto going retrograde, it's an indication that we might see some power issues. So it could be that maybe you've given your power away and needing to review, because every retrograde is reviewing, restoring, all the RE words. So have you been giving your power away? Or have you been allowing others to have power over you? So this is what we will be looking at with Pluto and Aquarius, and that is till October. So it's quite some time, but it's a good time to review. Also, we do have Mercury that is retrograde in Taurus. So again, RE words, review, renew, restore, return around. Just kidding. And so the Mercury in Taurus is values. What do you value? It also represents money, represents food, agriculture. And so it's about, we're reviewing what we think about where we buy our food from. What kind of food do we value? Monetary systems. So May is a big time because we are going into the age of Aquarius, which only the love frequency, love, humanity, togetherness can exist. And so we are in the midst of the tear down structures. And May is huge. All the energies in May are huge. And it started in April with the eclipse. So we also, Mercury and Pluto are in retrograde. And Pluto starts the 1st of May. And then on the 5th, and I'm going to be, I'll give you the big themes really, but on the 5th, we do have the full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio, which is really the bookend to the eclipse that we had in April, on April, I believe it was 18th and 19th of, April of 2023. Generally, eclipses last about 6 months, their energy. However, this particular full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio, this energy will be lasting in and out, will be weaving in and over Pluto till the end of 2024. So it's where, the eclipse in Aries in April was absolutely huge for manifesting, huge for things that pertain to the self. Aries, the self, it adds so many aspects to it, and I won't go into all of that now. And then we have this full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio. So eclipses generally are permanent changes in the collective and permanent changes within yourself. It's also because of this full moon, this eclipse, Scorpio, and full moons are endings. What are you going to clear? What are you going to purge? We have Scorpio really signifies secrets, hidden secrets, debts. Scorpio also represents, big money, lots of money, taxes, everything that's like those secrets, hidden secrets, things that are, below the surface. So we might see some endings or some takedowns or more revealings of takedowns of money structures. On top of that, we're still in the North Node in Taurus. We have Uranus in Taurus. Taurus represents what you value, food, comforts, Mother Earth, earthquakes, volcanoes. Uranus is in Taurus. It will be there till 2026. We have the North Node, which is what we're all moving towards until July. This full moon lunar eclipse is together with the South Node in Scorpio. So it's a biggie. It's a biggie. We also have Jupiter, and these are just the main themes of May. Jupiter is a big planet that is also predominant in May. Jupiter is the expansion planet. Jupiter also rules justice. We have what's called a square, which creates tension between Jupiter and Pluto. Jupiter is in Aries in the beginning part of May, so it's in the last degrees. So we might see anger, volatility in the financial systems. and it squares that Pluto. So it's the expansion of power issues, resources. Now, I want to say this. Everything is in our perspective. Yes, we have lots of energies, and the ladies were talking about, things that are amazing in May. And yes, there's amazing things that can happen in May. One of the things is it's in our perspective, because with every takedown or something going away, something new comes in. So astrology is really the energies of what's happening, but it is in our perception and what we choose and how we choose to use this energy that's happening. And because we're moving into Aquarius, the main thing is what we focus on is what we will be creating. If we focus on the fear, you will have more fear. If we focus on what's coming up in the Aquarian age, love, community, service to humanity, this is the opportunity to start creating our new Earth. But we can still hang on to that old Earth and be in that fear. So it's really all about your perspective. Astrology gives the energies, as we're all doing, but it's how you want to perceive this energy. Whether you want to go down with the takedown structures, or if you want to build new Earth, because that's what we're into at the moment. And also Jupiter. So the first half of May, it's going to be in Taurus season. And the second half of May, it's going to be in Gemini season. So the big planets in May are Uranus, which is electricity, fast moving, Jupiter, Pluto. Those are really the biggest planets that are in play for May. Jupiter, Pluto, Uranus, and all connected to the North Node. And Jupiter is going to move into Taurus May 16th. And it's also connected to the North Node in Taurus and Pluto. So there's a lot of fundamental social structures being created and or being taken down. So hang on to your hats. It's big energy in May. We will also have a new moon in Taurus, and I'll do an update on that when the time comes. It's going to be a black moon in Taurus. But that's good. So hang on to your hats in May. Choose love, as I always say. And just know that we are in the midst, the big, huge energy of things that no longer serve self, no longer serve the community, humanity, our social structures, money, financials, food, all things Taurus are being torn down. So we can go into the age of Aquarius. So just know that the energies are huge. On top of that, we're in a solar cycle that is very strong. All the coronal mass ejections, look at the Schumann resonance and the frequency of the planet. We are raising our frequencies. Mother Earth is, as humans we are, the animals, the plants, everyone here. Our frequencies are raising. And sometimes that can feel uncomfortable, but it's a good thing. So that is the astrology for May of 2023. Intense. It'd be a really fun roller coaster. If you really like roller coasters, let's do it. Go along for the ride. Anything else, ladies? All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this May energy update. We really appreciate all your likes, your shares, and your subscribes and comments. This show we do because it's in high demand. So we really appreciate all of you who have made it possible. So until next month, take it easy, choose love, and bye for now.